the weirdest announcement from the recent Nintendo Direct had to be Virtual Boy for Nintendo Switch Online. I still cannot believe this is actually happening. Nintendo has barely acknowledged the Virtual Boy over the years. It only got references in a few games, like Tomodachi Life or Luigi's Mansion 3. Nintendo didn't really include it much in their legacy. They really didn't want to have much to do with it, just due to how big of a failure it was. But they're finally doing something with the Virtual Boy now. They are finally re-releasing these games and actually putting out a pretty cool looking accessory as well that faithfully replicates the original. Virtual Boy games on Switch Online is something that I've unironically wanted for years. It is such a cool idea, just due to how weird the Virtual Boy is. Like, I've been wanting these games to be re-released, especially Virtual Boy Wario Land, for so long. So it's really nice to see them finally be available. However, Nintendo had to find some way to completely screw this up. Because you are required to use the accessories to play the Virtual Boy games. And yes, I know the intended way to play these games is in VR, wearing a headset, kind of seeing the stereoscopic 3D visuals, but requiring you to wear the headset is just kind of insane. Like, with Virtual Boy games, you could easily make it to where you could only see one screen in an emulator. Some of the gameplay footage that I'm showing in this video is only showing one screen of a Virtual Boy game. So it is entirely possible to play some of these games, like Virtual Boy Wario Land, without the headset. Requiring it is just the epitome of Nintendo forcing you to play the way that they intend you to play, which is a sentiment that I have criticized quite a lot on this channel. It's just really weird that they force you to do certain things in a certain way. And the thing is, this wouldn't be so bad if the accessories weren't absurdly expensive. Like, the headset that is basically a replica of the original is $100, which is absolutely insane. I know there are some external factors like tariffs or inflation, but there is no excuse for why this should be $100. And the cardboard model, which is literally just Labo VR, it is literally the exact same thing, but I guess it could fit a Switch 2 in it now, is $25. $25 for a cardboard cutout VR thing. That is just insane. What makes this even worse is that this isn't a part of the base Nintendo Switch Online. It's a part of the expansion pack, which is $50 a year. And there is literally no excuse for that. Like, one, there are barely any games for the Virtual Boy, like there are really only going to be 14 that will be added to Switch Online, and I think there's 22 games in total that ever released on the Virtual Boy, so even in total, there isn't that much value there. And then on top of that, you need these headsets too. So you're going to pay $50 a year, plus the $25 to $100 for the headset, meaning for the full experience, fully replicating the style of the Virtual Boy, it's gonna cost $150. That is absolutely insane. And the funny thing is that you can buy an actual Virtual Boy for just a little more than that. This is honestly one of the scummiest moves Nintendo has made in a while. And it doesn't make any sense either. For things like Mario Kart World, even though I will not defend the price of that at all, I can at least understand why Nintendo priced it so high. Because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold really well, and Nintendo knew that there was a ton of demand for a new Mario Kart game. But The Virtual Boy? Like, literally, Nintendo's biggest failure ever. They're making it hard to access and just something that people will have to go out of their way to get, and something that most people really wouldn't be interested to get in the first place. It's almost like Nintendo is being too faithful to the Virtual Boy, doing everything they could possibly do wrong to make it a failure. It's just kind of funny that the worst possible way they could roll out a system for Nintendo Switch Online is the Virtual Boy. It's almost poetic. Like, they are literally repeating history here. It's just crazy that, like, just all this is happening with the Virtual Boy. Like, it is almost kind of funny in a way. Like, just how could they screw up this badly? Like, it's the same thing you'd ask about the original Virtual Boy. Like, just with how, like, the screen is red and it damages your eyes. Like, that's what you'd say about the original Virtual Boy. How could they possibly screw it up this much? now it just wraps back around. It comes full circle to Virtual Boy on Switch Online. And now we're like, how could they screw up this perfect opportunity so incredibly badly? It's honestly kind of funny at that point. And it's also pretty disappointing because there are so many other better ways to handle Virtual Boy re-releases. Like, imagine if they did a collection of all the Virtual Boy games, separate from Nintendo Switch Online, and bundled it with the recreation of the Virtual Boy that you slip your Switch 1 or 2 into. That would have actually been really cool. And even if it was $100, I still think the deal wouldn't have been as bad there. That would have been a little more acceptable there, even though it still probably would have been pretty overpriced. At the very least, you aren't continually paying for a subscription service to access these games, a $50 subscription service. You always will get to keep these games, and just in general, it would have felt like a more respectful tribute to these Virtual Boy games. These games would have been properly preserved. I just think that would have been the much better alternative here, just due to how few Virtual Boy games there are. It should have been a collection. That just would have made so much more sense to me. And they also just could have made these games playable without the headset, like I was mentioning earlier, and ideally put onto the base Switch Online rather than the expansion pack. Like I said, there's really no excuse for that. It's just so disappointing that they just fumbled this amazing opportunity, because Virtual Boy games being re-released is such a really cool idea, but yeah, it's just kind of depressing that it's just another one of Nintendo's greedy moves here. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!